want to talk a bit about my next project. What I've gotten into the habit of doing is using AI to help me brainstorm. So I'm just going to read out some of the conversation that I had with Gemini. If we treat hair not as an aesthetic choice, but as a biological pore, then braids and dreadlocks become the perfect conduit for a symbiotic relationship with technology, using optical fibers, which are essentially hair-thin strands of glass or plastic, creates a direct physical parallel to the hair itself. This is a concept, right? Instead of a cyborg being a clunky metal arm, which is what you'd imagine from a sci-fi movie, a cyborg having a human body with a metal arm or some sort of metal prosthetics on its face. This is a subtle symbiosis. The optical fibers are woven directly into the braids because fiber optics transmit data through light, total internal reflection. The braid becomes a flexible, wearable data bus. The intersection, you use Ron Eglash's fractal scaling to determine the density and the path of the fibers. In West African braiding, the tuck and pull method of adding extensions is the perfect mechanical way to patch a human into the digital system. The functionality, this isn't just a light up braid. And I should mention that light up braids are already a thing. You can find them on eBay or on Etsy, where people have these strands of fiber optics that have LEDs attached to them that glow in different colors, red, blue, yellow, and you just attach it to your hair using a hair clip. So it's not really braided into the hair, it's just attached as an extension. So I'm taking a whole different approach because this does have elements of utility, which we'll get into, but I just wanted to mention that it is a product that people can buy, but my project looks at it from a utility aspect. So the fibers act as a distributed sensor array. So this is where the utility comes in. The first one, data capture. The fibers can detect changes in ambient light, temperature, or even atmospheric pollutants, feeding that data to a small neck-mounted node. Now, this is where there's a lot of controversy around BCI and BMI. BCI is basically brain-computer interfaces, and that's what people like Elon Musk are working on at Neuralink, and where you have invasive methods, so they stick chips inside of your skull. There are non-invasive methods, which you've probably already seen in the likes of companies like Emotive or Muse that just have head mounts that you attach to your head. The most popular non-invasive method is actually products that has been used for decades now, called an EEG, an electroencephalogram, which basically just reads your brain waves, and it's just sort of a skull cap that you attach to your head, and it has all of these nodes that read your brain waves in real time. So this project aims to be a non-invasive method. The second functionality is, imagine a person walking into a room. Their hair slightly glows as the fibers act as a passive LiDAR system, mapping the space through the way light bounces off the strands. The fiber optics can actually sense changes in the environment and transfer that not directly to you as an individual, but to a system that you can read or interact with, like a screen, a mobile app. That is the element of functionality to this. And AI's role within this is sort of as a processor. So an AI model processes the noise coming from the thousands of fibers and translates it into haptic or audio feedback for the wearer. So the same way you have a wearable, right, like a watch that vibrates whenever you get a notification, you could get a vibration from a wearable that tells you if the air pollution increases past a certain limit, then you get some sort of haptic feedback. But essentially the AI becomes the interpreter for the hair's new sight. And then it just talks about how to materialize this, right? What equipment that I need. The fiber, obviously, you can buy PMMA plastic optical fiber very cheaply, 0.75 millimeters or 0.5 millimeter thickness. I'll probably go with the smaller ones just because I want it to be so fine that it almost disappears into the hair. The node, instead of a computer, you can use an ESP32 microcontroller, about £10, which is quite cheap, hidden in a 3D printed amulet or cuff at the base of the braid. This node houses the LEDs to pump light through the fibers and the sensors to read the return. Essentially what this is some sort of cuff or bead, right? So for example, at the back of my braids, I've got this silver headband that ties my braids together. So it could be something as simple as that, just 3D printed or kind of molded in a shape that can hold all the braids together and connect the nodes for the optical fibers. Having a wearable that could send some sort of haptic information to the wearer. That could be in the form of vibrations, or that could be in the form of bone conducting vibrations. The fabrication process, you or a collaborator braid the fiber extensions into the mannequin head yourself. So I luckily actually do have a collaborator, my ex-girlfriend, who does hair and makeup for film. She's very happy to help me with the braiding, and also because she has all the equipment, including a mannequin, so I don't really have to buy my own, so that's quite useful. But yeah, that's pretty much all that I have so far in terms of an idea. I also spent a bit of time doing some prompting in Midjourney just to visualize this. I've been using Midjourney since it first came out. The way that it works is you literally just describe what you want, and within a few seconds, about a minute, it gives you 4 images of what you describe. And some of the images that I've generated, I'll put them on the screen. From all of them, this is the one that I actually like the most, because you can clearly see those optical fiber tubes being mounted and being fed through the braids almost as extensions, just in terms of an early visualization of what the project is trying to convey, this symbiosis between technology and human being manifested through this layer of braids. I think that that does a good job of conveying that message. And the good thing with Midjourney is that you can also create videos now, so you can see the braids quite clearly, and you can see the optical fibers lighting up as they're reading information and sensing changes in the environment. That's really it right now. Like, this is a very interesting project that I'm quite enthusiastic about doing. And I also want to get it into an exhibition or a gallery. There is a competition that I saw called the Chizzy Wigway Prize for African Futurism. The theme is Africa in 2100. African futurism, characterized by its intersection of cultural heritage, technology, and imagination, serves as the thematic foundation for this prize. Artists are invited to explore the following questions through their work. What will African societies look like in 2100? How will technology shape cultural traditions, art, and innovation in the continent? What role will Africa play in addressing global changes and advancing humanity? So that's really all that there is to it. The idea is going to be called Project Kitso. Kitso is the word for plaiting or braiding in the Hausa language, which is what I want to go with. It's very simple. It sounds cool. I'm excited for this project, so let's do it.